Click on the SSH. This is the remote host. What does the remote host mean? This is the computer where you're going to be connecting to. Let me give you a little drawing screen over here so you can see. Every time you guys connect, you guys are over here, all the good looking people. Why? You're done for the day? Okay. This is where you are. Okay, and you have your laptops over here. Your laptop is running an OS, most likely Mac or Windows. That OS is running some applications. You have either, if it is Mac, you're using terminal. If it is Windows, I encourage you to use MobaXterm. By the way, MobaXterm is used industry-wise as well as SSH putty. Okay, let's take a real quick moment over here to download the SSH putty. All right, go ahead and let's download the SSH putty. SSH putty for Windows. See that? This is not SSH putty, this is SSH putty. Somebody saying I cannot find SSH putty. SSH putty. It's putty. P-U-T-T-Y, putty. Okay, this is not putty. The putty might be found in some neighborhood. They're everywhere. I had a putty here earlier too. Anyway, I'm on Mint. Do I need putty? You don't need putty, dude. You're good, okay? You know what you're doing if you're on Mint. Let's go to let me take the real kick. Just give me 1 second over here. Annoying kids. Oh my God. I tell you what, man, folks, those of you who are not married right now, or those of you who are married right now, don't plan on having kids anytime soon. They're very annoying these days, wallahi. Anyway, go to download putty and you see download putty, download putty. Now you come over here on this screen over here. I'm intentionally slow because, my God, some of you are slow. Some of you are slow, some of you intentionally slow because the goddamn phone that you have next to you is keeping you slow. Anyway, let's go ahead and click on this installer over here. Installer means that this is a downloadable file. And when I click on it, it's going to do some magic. It's going to install the program. That's what installer does. So I click on this and here I am. Here I am. And by the way, there's 102 of you and there's only a handful of you that stay connected with me. And let me tell you one thing, when the time comes to apply for your job, that if I have a job that lands, that somebody, one of my student tells me about and says, hey, I need somebody that's good in your class, I will not know who you are. You don't exist for me. Okay? So you gotta get the two portable displays. You gotta have me on one display. Whenever I ask you something, you stay connected. This is how I keep you away from your social media life and keep you focused over here. Let's go next. Some of you is unmuted, which is Atif Idris, and he's gonna say something crazy, and I'm gonna hear it, and then we're gonna have a problem. Just like what Khizr did. You know, truth is bitter, right? Let's go next. All right, let's go. Let's go install. Oh, this one kid is in love with your phrase. Seriously, she just loves that phrase, the way you said it. But honestly speaking, I didn't like the way you did said it about my student, but she's in love with that phrase, you know. Okay.
He was not even able to tell me that his link is down, but he's not able to laugh so much.
It's all right. View the README file. No, I don't want to view the README file. Now the SSH putty is installed. Hey, Nasser coach. We have, he might be busy somewhere today. You know, whenever I call upon Nasser and if he doesn't respond to me right away, I can bet you my empty wallet. 99.9% he's eating something and he doesn't want us to know. Hey, what are you up to, Nasser?
No, I was just wrapping up.
Trying to find the unmute button?
Yes.
Okay, brother. Okay, if you say so. Putty, SSH putty is installed. Hey, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So you worked for IEEE, you worked for Nielsen, you worked for another company, Oak Ridge, you worked for Bank of America. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, how did you guys connect to your Linux servers from Windows boxes? What was your configuration like when you go to work? Do you have a Windows laptop? They give you a Unix laptop. They give you a, how does that work? Day one when you join the organization. Folks, these stories are going to build you. That's why I ask these questions, because they're going to give you realistic answers, set your real expectations, give you a basically it's going to simulate in your brain. When you slowly these stories are going to build you, because at the end of this course you will know some environmental questions. Okay. And what was that movie, Slumdog Millionaire? How many of you watched that movie, Slumdog Millionaire? Slumdog Millionaire, if you haven't watched it, you gotta watch that movie. It's a great movie. So when he goes to this, what is this program called? Kaun Banega Crorepati, something like that. What is that program called, Nasser?
Yeah, that was it.
Kaun Banega Crorepati. Share the name of the movie. Slumdog Millionaire. It's an Indian movie. It's in Hindi. Great movie. And when he goes and he's asking him these questions, and he's he wants to make money. He's a poor kid. Anything that happened in life, all the questions that they asked him, he remembered things from his stories, whatever incident took place in his life. So my way of teaching here is this: I want to give you those tiny stories related to work. So when you go and sit in a hot seat in an interview, whether it's a one-on-one interview, panel interview, when you're sitting over there, these stories are going to come to your mind whenever they ask you a question. That's why I like to put things into story. So tell me your story, Nasser. When you joined Bank of America, what happened? How did they get you on board? What type of laptop they gave you? What type of software you used to connect to the Linux servers? How many servers you were managing? Tell us a little bit about your background.
So when Bank of America hired me, or IEEE hired me, they gave me a Windows laptop, and I think it was Windows 7 back then. And they gave me a clean laptop. They used the word image. They re-imaged it, and it had certain tools that were needed for my day-to-day work. You know, tools like putty. This is one of the most fundamental tools that we all need as a system admin, that we need to connect to Linux systems. Back then we were not able to SSH using CMD. So CMD just incorporated this SSH functionality. Back then it wasn't there. In addition to that, obviously they have to establish your profile, your username, your account, and all that information. So most of the time you would get a Windows laptop, may it be Dell or HP. And then on top of that, they would install certain tools like Microsoft Office, because you may need some, software suite for documentation, maybe Excel or whatnot. And then some additional tools like your VPN may be installed, like Cisco AnyConnect. That is a tool that is very commonly used for being able to connect remotely if you ever need it to. And then they may give you a multi-factor authentication device, MFA, or a YubiKey, or one of those RSA devices. Some of them nowadays
For remote access.
for remote access. Yeah. Nowadays you have soft token, they call it. Back then it was just a hard device. Nowadays they use interchangeably hard token or soft token. And I was part of the Linux infrastructure support team, and we were managing at IEEE. We were managing about like 2,000, 1,700 to 2,000 servers, Linux virtual machines and physical systems.
How many?
1,700 to 2,000.
1,700 to 2,000. Your team was responsible for those.
Yeah, we were about four people, 4 to 5 people. One of them was responsible for VMware.
IEEE.
IEEE, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And one of them was a storage guy. The other one was VMware. 3 of us were Linux system admins, and we were patching Linux systems on daily basis. We had ticketing system, which is very something that everybody here must know. We were using ServiceNow. Actually, there we were using Service Manager from HP, and yeah, it was based out of Piscataway. And back then there wasn't any concept of remote work. You had to be on site. So we would go inside, we would greet and meet our teammates, and gradually, you pay attention to the environment and you learn how people dress, how people walk, what's the talk, what time you go to break, and all that good stuff. So it was really, really a great, great
Okay.
experience to kick off with that. And
Okay.
thank you for dropping me off there, and buying me the suit.
Wow, you still remember that?
Yes, I remember that, sir.
Do you
Thank
still have that suit?
I still have that. Now it only in the pant only fits my right leg.
Okay, let's not go there. All right, folks. Thank you, Nasser. Thank you for always sharing your story with us and putting things into perspective for us. So I have downloaded the putty. What I want you guys to put over here is linoob.ddns.net. You can use the Mobax term or putty, anything that you want to use. And you can save this and you can give it a name over here. You can say Linoob-server over here, or Linoob server over here. You can hit save over here, and then you can open it up. Now I am on that network, so this host name will not work for me. I need to use a different, I need to use an IP address 10.1.10.100. And you see, when I connect to this, the first time it says, hey, the key, accept the key. And now, right over here, it is asking me who you are. I'm saying my username is AsadB, ABC123. There you go. And this is how the SSH putty looks like, okay? Very basic, very lightweight. And you need to be familiar with this because somebody's going to ask you about the putty, and you're not going to understand this. Can you redo this means what? Redo what? Redo the logging of the putty? What do you want me to redo? Oh my God. Let's go to Putty over here. You see this? This is the launchable program. You come over here, you know, all of these kids, wallahi, their life is just messed up. Linoob.ddns.net. And I just put this host name over here, and I can save this as however I want to save this. Linoob server, Linoob access, server access, however I want to. And then once I save this, I can hit open. Of course, it's not going to open for me because I am, particularly for me, it's a problem because I'm on this network. But if I put in the IP address, I get onto this, okay? All right, very good. Sir, please, can you not distract me for a few minutes? Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, all right, cool, thank you. Now let's continue, and let me just see over here real quick. We just wasted 29 minutes and we haven't accomplished anything. All right, the test time over here, ladies and gentlemen. I want to see all of you guys type in the chat whatever I ask you. The command to see how many users are logged in. Tamina, please stop now. You've been wasting too much time on this terminal and MoveX term. I will help you after the class, okay? Very good. Everybody got the uptime over here. Now, what is this shown over here? Quickly. Okay, load average, which is perfectly fine. It says right over here, load average, the smart kids. Give me the intervals, time intervals over here. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 5, 10, 15. No, 1, 1, 5, 15. 1, 5, 15 is the right answer. 1, 5, 15 is the right answer. I need 2 commands to know my kernel version. 2 commands to know the kernel version. 2 commands to know the kernel version. If you're giving me host name CTL, that's okay. If you're giving me uname -a, that's okay. Perfectly fine. Anything other than these 2 commands, you're shot. Okay? You don't know what you're saying over here. All right? Uname -a will work. Host name CTL right over here is the kernel version. I need you to tell me the IP address of my machine. Hey, come on, LSCPU will not tell you that, okay? I need you to tell me the IP address of my server. If config, very good. The IP address is right here. Another one is nmcli dev show. Good. The IP address is here. The other one is, what's the other one? If config, host name -i. Another one I'm going to throw at you, IPADDR. IPADDR. Beautiful. Right over here, IPADDR. All right. All right, now I need you to give me the default gateway for this server. What's the default gateway for this server? How would you check that? nmcli. And the default gateway is right over here.
Sabai, could you please tell these folks to type the answer in the chat, not in the QA section? It floods that whole section, and then we end up chasing whether there's a real question or it's just a comment.
Folks, Nasir bhai, some of these kids don't know what QA section is. They don't know what the chat is. They're trying to figure it out, okay? But you know what? This is retiring. The QA session is going away from next Saturday. So Thursday is the last time. All right. So please, there's a chat over here. click on the chat box, and then, because if you're typing your message in the Q&A, I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Please type, go to the chat. There's a menu right there. Go to the chat over there and type your message in the chat box. You got it. Perfect. No. There are other people too. Okay, you guys are good. So this is the default gateway. Now, folks, I want you to tell me what type of server you're on. What's the make and model of the server? Real quick. Command to give me the make and model of the server. If you still don't know these commands, shame on you. I'm sorry, I'm going to do this to you guys. Honestly speaking, I'm going to do this to you guys. Host name CTL. Right over here, make Dell PowerEdge R620. Some of you gave me LSBLK. LSBLK. Tell me what you see over here. Where is the make and model over here? Okay. Where is the make and model over here? Now, what do you see over here? What is this SDA 930? This is the storage device. This is the hard drive. And that's this capacity. All right. And then some of you said to me, but I'm not going to give you that command. Give me the commands to list the number of IP addresses in my machine. On my server, the list of sorry, not the IP addresses, sorry, the CPUs. CPUs, number of CPUs. LS CPU. LS CPU, ladies and gentlemen, the number of CPUs I have is 32. How many physical CPUs I have in this machine? Socket. 2 physical CPUs. And then each physical CPU has 8 cores. And then each core has 2 threads. And that makes it 32. Okay, I will explain you one day what the core is, what the thread is. Socket is 2 physical CPUs. Okay. And what's the make and model for this CPU? Intel. It's a Xeon processor. I'm not sure if Shahid Bhai is here today. If Shahid Bhai is here. Shahid Bhai, what's the status on ordering the server?
They are on their way, coming to you.
Beautiful.
Probably.
Beautiful. You want to explain us what did you order for this class? What's the gift you have for them?
Oh, yes, we will be showing them too on Zoom. Because what we got is ultra level, enterprise level servers. Not even small businesses get those because those are really heavy quad CPUs with terabyte of RAM. Once we get them, we will show them each component again. We already had a hardware class, but we're just going to show them what we have. And we not only got one, we got 3 of them so we can have a cluster. So that's going to be an amazing show and tell. And if anybody wants to get involved, get their hands on these servers while we configure them, they're most welcome to come and see them.
Fresh Pond, folks. Fresh Pond in East Brunswick, Milltown, FP. That's what we're going to call this location, FP. I am asking all of you guys that live around here, New York, New Jersey, come over and configure these servers with Shahid. Okay, set them up with Shahid. You will get the beautiful understanding of how this works. Okay. Now, if you're in Sacramento, you don't need to come over here. Okay. But come over. We will advise to you when you guys can come over. Come over and we will. So, Shahid Bhai, what are you telling me? What you're telling me is that when we have those servers, the number of cores for each server, what is the number of core?
So they are quad sockets, quad processors.
Quad socket, you're saying. Quad means 4. So you're saying they're going to have 4 CPUs physically present?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, then they have cores. Each one of them.
Each has 18 cores.
Okay.
Multiplied by 4, that brings up to 72 cores. And that's just physical cores.
Oh, beautiful. And the hyperthreading, the threading.
Multiply that with 2.
So how many
You'll get
CPUs are we?
144.
144 CPUs for the OS.
Correct. So we got a huge server, and everything in that server is to experience, because they might not get to see them or experience these servers, especially these enterprise level. Just to
At
give
work.
them an idea, if you guys can note down the make and model of it, it's a Dell PowerEdge DL580. Somebody should type that in, and you should look it up, because these machines, of course, by their price, you will know how valuable these are to the company. They go upward of $100,000 each machine.
When they
depending on
came out, obviously.
Right.
Yeah. So
So
Dell PowerEdge.
Dell PowerEdge DL580 580.
PowerEdge.
Oh, sorry. So we got a different one. So wait, these are actually HPs, and we got a Gen 9, which is one generation old, DL580.
Oh, HPs. We got
Correct.
HPs. Yes.
Yes.
HP. Which
Yes.
one? DL.
DL580s.
580 with the 96 cores or 70?
72 cores each.
72 cores each. So basically, this type of box right here.
Correct. That's exactly
how many U's is this?
This is a 4U. So we'll
4U.
explain. I did try to explain in the previous hardware class, the number of U's determine how many servers we can fit in a rack. So a standard rack can have up to 22 U's, or depending on the size. So I don't want to explain too much into that.
No, not too much. So
we'll
it's basically the depth of the server.
The size, yes. Exactly, the height.
The height of the server, right?
Right.
And so listen, sometime you will see it'll show you $400. You might think it's a cheap server, but it's the configuration. A server can look like a $200 server or a $20,000 server. It's what's inside the server: the CPUs, the RAM, the RAID card, the network card. All of those things jack up the price. A server could be a $2,000 server, or it could be a $20,000 server. All dependent on the configuration of the server. Okay? Yeah. So same, just like your laptops. They look the same, but they have different configuration. You can have a laptop for $400. You can have a laptop for $3,400. The one I have, I believe when I bought it, it was like $3,400. Anyway, now, so talking about the memory here, folks, can you guys tell me how to check the RAM on this server right over here? What's the command to check the RAM? -H. So you see, this is a 30 gigabyte RAM only. And what Shahid was saying earlier, I think it's like 1 terabyte RAM, he said, or 700 gigabyte. Anyway, that is going to be crazy amount of RAM. And we have ordered 3 of those. We're going to cluster those servers and we're going to put them to work. We're going to give you access to the live VMware environment. We're going to give you access to each VM. You're going to own that VM. You're going to monitor that VM. You're going to deploy the OS on that. You're going to have your root access, and you're going to be full-fledged, just like you're working for the Fortune 500 company. Okay. Now, this is beautiful. We got so far over here.
Editor in Windows right here. This is Notepad right here. Basically, this is the VI. This is the editor VI. That's what some people call it Vim. The newer version is Vim. The older version is VI. I guess it stands for Virtual Instrument. I guess something like that. VI. But the newer version is.
It stands for VI improved.
VI improved, right?
V improved, yes.
Yep. VI improved. That's what Vim stands for. So yeah, so it's basically a note where you have to click. You have to click on save. You can exit. This is exactly how the things would work in on the command line. Okay.
So basically what you're saying is VI is a tool that will let you create files, add text to files, change an existing file. just like you have the notepad, just like you have Microsoft Office Word, just like you have um, Google Sheets where you add information, you write essays and stuff like that. And so this is a text editing tool, right? It's called
That
text
is,
editor.
yep,
It's
VI
a text
editor,
editor. Okay. Okay,
text
very good.
editor.
VI editor. And it's been there since 1970, ever since the Unix system came. And the beautiful thing about the VI is, folks, that it comes pre-installed with the operating system. You know, you don't need to add an additional package. Like in Microsoft, Microsoft Office is an additional package, additional software that you buy. In Linux, VIM or VI comes pre-installed. It's part of the operating system, meaning, it's the package is there for you already. It's a very lightweight. It doesn't take up resources. When you become a system administrator, system engineer, a DevOps engineer, you have to pay attention to the system resources. At the end of the day, what are system resources, folks? CPU, RAM, hard drive, everything, and the network card. So if this was a big software, it would take a lot of CPU, and it would take a lot of RAM. It would take a lot of space on the hard drive. So it's very minimum. And go ahead, Nasser, please continue.
Awesome. Okay, so we already know that this is VI is a text editor. In our previous session or a session before that, we've come to learn that if you really wanted to, if you wanted to write something into a file, you would use the echo command to print something on the screen and then manipulate that and redirect that into a file. That would end up sending the text into a file, right? But of course, this is not the practical way of writing into a file, because sometimes you would have to erase some stuff. Sometimes you have to modify some stuff. Sometimes you have to delete something. So echo, it only sends stuff or either overrides files. So this is not the practical way, but the real way or the standard way is VI. It's actually an interview question. What is your favorite editor? So VI is something that is prevalent. Everybody knows VI, but then there are some other old school tools too. We're not going to worry about those, like Nano. There's Pico, then so on and so forth. Don't worry about that. The VI is the one that is standard. Okay, everybody is familiar with VI. So if somebody asks you, well, we use VI to edit files. All right. Now, so I hope everybody is in their home directory. I am in my home directory, as you can see. You should be in /home/tola/home/Yusef/home/Aqib. I'm in /home/Nasser. So everybody be in their home directories. So let's do this. Let's do ls to see what we have here. I have a folder here. I'm going to create a file that is going to have some text. Let's all do that. So let's do echo. We all love Linux. And let's redirect that into a file called file1.txt. Okay. So we are obviously, if I remove this redirection symbol, then obviously this is only going to repeat that stuff on this command line if I hit enter. But I don't want to see it on the command line. I want to rather send it to a file called file1.txt. I hope we all understand what is this redirection symbol, what they mean, these two greater than symbols. If I was to use one, y'all know what that means, right? It would override. It would remove anything that existed in this file. If this file was there, of course, I don't have that file there. But if I wanted to add or append, the word is append. So I'm going to hit enter. So now we all love Linux is going to go inside of that file. And if I read that file, file1.txt, it should have that. Now, let's say if I wanted to edit something here, if I say I want to add like we all love too much, how are we going to do that through echo? Well, the way we would do that is we would have to run the command again. We all love Linux too much. but then and use greater than one greater than sign, well, if you did that, what is going to happen to your previous text? That will be gone. So this is not the practical way of approaching editing files. So the way we do that is we use something called VI, which is the editor. It's just like any command, you specify VI and then the file that you wish to edit. If you don't have a file that exists, just give it a new name. Okay, whatever. So now you're creating a new file. So it is a little overwhelming when you start it initially. If you do VI file1.txt, if you hit enter, it is telling you, the name of the file at the bottom, how many lines it has, how many bytes it has total. I think this is the column and characters. I'm not sure what this is, but then it's not just, this is the main part right here. Just understand this part. So as soon as you type VI and the name of the file, you try to type something in it like Q, W, X. It does something, but it's not. It's not. So by default, when you open up VI editor, it is in escape mode. Okay, sorry. Let me try it one more time. VI file1. When you hit enter, by default, you are in your escape mode. So you would type I, hit I key, I or A, and you will see at the bottom, it will say insert. So it's kind of like, you're inserting text, you're writing text into the file. Okay, so now you are insert mode, so you can move around. Obviously, you will not use your mouse. You will use your keys, left and right keys. Okay, so now you're insert mode, and if I wanted to add something, we all love Linux too much to not learn it, right? We love it too much, we want to learn it. Now, once you're done typing your stuff, now you're ready to get out of the editor. So as soon as you start VI and then the name of a file, it takes you into editor. It occupies your terminal. It's not your terminal anymore. Now you need to get out of this. So right now you're still in insert mode. You gotta go back into your escape mode. So you hit the escape key all the way upper left corner. There's the escape key. Hit that. Now you're in escape mode. Now you need to type Shift : W to write and Q to quit. I'm going to repeat it again. Hit escape key to go into escape mode. Shift : W. And by the way, what is colon? The key next to your L on the right side of L. W to write and Q to quit. If you did QW, if you quit first before you wrote something, well, you're not saving anything. All the changes that you made, they will not be saved into the file because you quit before you saved something. So you got to make sure the order stays accordingly. You write something to a file and then you quit and then you hit enter. Now you are outside of the editor. Let's do this exercise one more time, folks. All right. So let's create let's do one more time. VI, I'm going to create file 2.txt. File2 doesn't exist in my directory. If I do ls, you don't see file2 right here, right? So vi file 2.txt. Okay, now we are about to create a new file called okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that again. Okay, so we hit enter. And which mode are we in by default, folks? When we open up our VI editor, we are in the escape mode. Okay, now to switch from escape into by the way, look at the bottom. It is telling you you're creating file 2.txt. It's a new file. It didn't exist. Now, to go from escape to insert mode, you hit the I key, I for insert. And right here at the bottom, you do see the insert. All right, so let's go ahead and type something. Let's say, God bless America. Okay. All right. We are ready to save this content. So again, we got to go back into the escape mode. Okay. Hit the escape key. Now we are in escape mode. Now we have to go in Shift : This is called command mode. So the editor has 3 modes, by the way. The first mode is escape mode. The second mode is the insert mode. And the third mode is command mode, CMD, command mode. All right, we will talk about command mode later, but to save the content, you do escape. You will see the insert option, the one that was visible at the bottom is gone now. And you will hit Shift colon WQ. So this Shift colon WQ is the command mode. So we will hit enter. And now we are outside of the editor. Okay, let me do this one more time again, folks. VI file free.txt. So now we are creating the third file. I will hit enter. Now, by default, I am in the escape mode. So I need to go into the insert mode. So how do I do that to go into the insert mode? Insert, the word I for insert. And here you can see clearly at the bottom, I am in the insert mode. So I will go ahead and type something here. We are all learning good stuff here, folks. So we are going to save this. Now we are ready to save this content. So how do we go back into the escape mode? You simply hit the escape key. Now the insert option from on the lower left corner is gone. We're ready to go into command mode to exit. So Shift colon WQ. By the way, if you simply use W and hit enter, it is going to save and not quit. Right here, look, it says file3.txt. It's a new file you created. You have one line, 48 bytes written, but you're still in the editor and you're still in the escape mode. You could type I to go into the insert mode, by the way, and go back and type if you wish to. But if you need to get out of this, you will hit escape, Shift colon WQ, right, and quit. Or if you simply wanted to quit, just type Q and hit enter, and you will get out of that. Yeah, you must have hit R key. So when you type R key, it goes into recording mode. So you need to hit those who are stuck. So let me create a new file, file4.txt. Those who need to get out of this, hit escape key a couple of times, folks. 1, 2, 3, couple of times. Until this insert mode or recording mode, whatever you see at the lower left corner, until you see that. Okay? Until you see that, hit escape key a couple of times. And then Shift colon, the key next to L.
Slow down, Nasser bhai.
I did this 4th time. I said, right?
Aww.
Okay. Let me
You know,
slow
this
down
is
one
a
more time.
new language.
Yes, I. All right, let me do it one more time, folks. All right. VI and the new file name.
This is where some of the people are saying, oh my God, what the hell I got myself into, dude. They didn't tell me this was going to get this complicated. I'm sure some of you are thinking like this. Let me ask you this question. What comes easy in life? If anyone can do it, then it wouldn't be worth it. All right. So continue learning. It's just practice will make you better. Go ahead, Nasrai.
Sure. Okay. So again, VI and then the name of the file that we want to create. Okay. All right. So okay. So name of the file, let's create file 5.txt. So now once we hit enter, we're going to be in the escape mode by default, right? So we will hit enter. We are in the escape mode, meaning we are not able to type stuff here until we go into the insert mode. So to go into the insert mode, so you can write into the file, what's the magic key? I. You hit the I, or I think you can even type the A key. A or I, both would work. A or I, both would take you into insert mode. So now we are ready to type stuff. So let's say this is my FIFTH, fifth editor file. I think I want to save this line in my file. I'm ready to save and get out of this editor, because if I try uptime here or df-h, no commands, okay, lsblk, who am I, all this is not going to work. I need to get out of this editor. This is like it's like a jail. Once you're in it, you got to know the way to get out. Otherwise, this thing is going to hold your terminal. That's why VI editor is there are books written on VI editor. So we're just going to keep it simple. All right. So we are done with what we want to write. Now we're ready to save this stuff. So I will hit escape key and you will see this insert at the bottom. It will be gone right here. Escape, it's gone. And now I need to save and quit. In order for me to do that, I will press the shift key, press shift and colon. And you will see there's a colon right here at the lower left corner, folks. If you can't see it, let me pull up my good friend Jinx. Here you go. So here, right here at the bottom, folks. You see this? There, colon. Okay. For those it's not working, what you should do is hit the escape key a couple of times and press shift ZZ twice. Press the shift key and hit Z key 2 times. All right. Let's do it one more time. VI.
Tell them where the escape key is located. It's located all the way to the left, upper left corner. That's the escape key. ESC, escape key. You never used this in your life before. That's why you're a little bit confused.
Yeah.
So if you get in a weird situation, weird situation, hit escape, 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 and then shift, and then colon. Okay? And this is how it's going to look. Look over there. The colon is right next to the L key, to the right side. The L key to the right side, if you press shift, that's colon. The 2 dots on top of each other, that's colon. So escape, shift, colon, and then Q to quit. Q means to quit, and hit enter. You're out. Let's do this one more time. If you're stuck over here, let Nasser go ahead and get me stuck in a stuck situation.
All right, let's get rolling.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead and get me in a stuck situation with the VI.
So here we are. We are in typing and we are ready to get out of this. We're ready to save this content.
How do you get into the recording thingy? Yeah, get me in a recording thingy.
Or even this. Recording thingy is here. Right here. So
yeah, somehow you get into recordings. Yeah, visual is there. This is a visual mode, okay. There was somebody saying why not use Nano? Now VI comes default. VI is a system engineer's tool, and we gotta learn this. It's very easy. It just gets few tries, you'll be fine, okay? Now let's go ahead, and we are in this situation. We are messed up. It says visual. For some of you, it says recording. Hit the escape key for me 2-3 times. Escape, escape, escape. Now hold the shift key, put it down, hold it. Now the colon key, which is right next to the L key on the right side. While holding the shift key, press the colon key. And that's when you see the 2 dots. Now you put Q over there, type the Q, release the colon, release the shift key. Now put the Q over there. That's like exiting without saving, quitting, okay? Just like some of us quit in our life. Just like some of you going to quit Linux because you have been quitting all of your life. You're going to continue to quit, okay? Just like that. Q for the quit, okay? And then hit enter. What happened? Okay, then add the exclamation mark over there after the Q. Q, and now exclamation mark. Okay, now hit enter. All right, very good. Where is the file saved? The file is saved in the current directory where you were. If you did the Q exclamation mark or just the Q, basically you didn't save anything.
Right.
You didn't save anything. Okay, so we got 25 minutes over here. Nasser, allow me to take this control for 5 minutes over here. Let me go through this one more time, okay?
Please.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. They got one version of you, and now they're going to have my version over here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, look, I have a beautiful slide for you guys, if I can bring it up. Look, pay attention over here. What is VIM? VI or VIM? VI is literally the tool that you use to do text editing. And the M stands for the improved version. This is a newer version in the Linux. Before, it used to be called VI when I was young and handsome. All right, now I'm old and crippled. Now it's called VIM. It's the improved version. Simple definition: Vim or VI, you can call it Vim, you can call it VI, is a keyboard-based text editor that you use in the terminal. It lets you open, edit, and save files like configuration files, scripts, or notes, any file, all without needing a mouse or graphical interface. The whole idea of using this tool is that we don't want to use mouse. We don't want to click here and there. Why use this? Speed. Once you get used to it, you'll see it's a lot faster than using a graphical tool, which is a slower. It takes a lot more memory. It works over SSH. Whenever you go from one machine, like you are at your home and you're connecting to our server, this is called the SSH connection. You are coming from SSH connection. Let me see your chat windows over here so I can see what you guys are thinking, okay? Now, can you please update the PowerPoint for us to look at afterwards? I only see 34 slides. Yes, I will give you the PowerPoints. You will have it. Don't worry about this. Next. System resource usage. This is very low, lightweight. It doesn't take up too much CPU and RAM. Just like your Nano might take more resources. Your Microsoft Office takes up too many resources. Any graphical user interface will take too many resources. Availability. It is installed nearly on all Linux and Unix systems. Graphical user interface like gedit, Microsoft Office, Google, they may not always be available on all of the systems. Mouse need, no need for the mouse. Keyboard control. Yes, if you're using graphical user interface, then you probably need a mouse and a keyboard, of course. Ideal use case. If you are a server admin, if you're a DevOps engineer, if you are an AI engineer, if you are a systems engineer, you work with Vim or VI. If you're a full apps development stack or GUI-based task member or a graphical user interface, just a user of the operating system, like a secretary somewhere, or or maybe a manager or a director, and you don't use these servers and you don't use the terminals, then you can use those tools. VIM is very much needed for you. It's like a notepad on Windows, but it works only with the keyboard. You don't need a mouse for this. It's a model editing, whatever that means. I really don't know. I do know what it means, but you don't need to know. Lightweight, extendable, keyboard driven, always available, works over SSH. That's all of these things I've already told you. Let's take a look at this. How to use VIM. So the story is this: when you go to work as a system administrator, as a system engineer, you will be working on to fix servers, right? You will be logging into servers through SSH, right? And when you get to a server, okay, you will need to solve some problems. Let's say a user says that I cannot log in. Let's say, just like what Nasser solved the other day, server comes under a cyber attack. Let's say your server is slow. Let's say the disk is running out of a disk space. So the need for you to open up files, read them, modify them, the need is there for you, okay? The system is made up of system configuration files. When we talk about the OS, right? OS is all about files, which becomes programs, which becomes services, okay? Which become services, which then run as applications. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where the money is. Now, these files, they are text-based files. There's some text in these files. When you work on Linux and Unix systems from time to time, you need the ability to read these files, to write to them, to modify them, okay? And to delete certain lines or certain parameters in these files, okay? So far, so good? So far, so good? Everybody's good with me so far? You know, my God, when you guys don't talk to me, I feel like running away from my life and seriously putting myself out there on a road. Beautiful. Okay, I like it. I like it. Now that we know that we need to be able to read files and we need to be able to modify files. And now we know what the hell is VI. VI is a text editor. Okay. All right. VI is a text editor. What is text editor once again? It does just these two things. It reads files, it modifies them. It writes to new files. Now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine this is a file. The minute you type, this is a prompt sign over here, you type VI and then some file name over here after the space. Let's say file 1. It will open up the file in the memory. Right now, the file is in memory. Okay, it's in the RAM. Hey, how are you, sir? Now, let me ask you this question. If the file already exists on my machine, for example, take a look at this. This do not touch folder, if I go in there, if I go in there, test folder, there's nothing there. If this file over here, AI tools, ladies and gentlemen, where does this file exist as of now? Does this exist? Does this exist on my hard drive or in my RAM? Does it exist on my hard drive or in my RAM? You need to understand the difference between these two things. It exists on my hard drive, ladies and gentlemen, right over here. Why am I keep pressing? It exists on my hard drive, ladies and gentlemen. The file that's just sitting over there, it exists on my hard drive, okay? As soon as I double click on this file and I open it up, for example, right over here, this file, I open it up. Take a look at this. Now the file is also copied into the RAM. The same file is copied into the RAM. So, ladies and gentlemen, wonder, whenever I go over here and I say notepad, this file that I'm opening up over here, notepad over here, right now it's sitting on the RAM. RAM is the temporary storage. This is my new file. I am creating this to show you that this file does not exist on the RAM. No, it does not exist on the hard drive. It exists on the RAM only because I did not hit the save button yet. As soon as I hit the save button, it will save on my hard drive. Now I understand the difference between RAM and storage. RAM keeps files open temporarily, and storage keeps files stored permanently. Okay, good. Now, let's go back over here to my VI story. Let me go to the terminal over here. Let me show you over here. Oops, pwd ls. I don't have any files over here. I do not have any files over here. What I'm going to do is I am going to create a file. First of all, I want to show you that VI allows you to read files, skim through files. So if I gave you this file, /etc/hostess, can you use VI to read this file with me? Let's do this quickly. /etc/hostess, go to the terminal over here and type vi/etc/hostess file. Okay, good. I can read this file. I can read this file. How do I exit? I just want to read this file. How do I exit? Escape, hold the shift key and press the colon key, and press Q and press the exclamation mark. Exit out of this. Again, escape, 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 shift and colon together, Q and exclamation mark, and exit. I was able to read that file. Why not Q exclamation question mark? Well, why not only Q? Okay, yeah. The exclamation mark is, hey, listen, if there's any problem, if there's any errors, don't show those errors to me. Just close this damn file. I don't care. Close it. Do not give me any errors. It's like forcing it. Make it happen, okay? Don't complain to me. All right. Now I want to create a new file. So let me show you. I don't have any file in my home directory. I want to create a new file. I'm going to say VI new file. VI new file. Yes, the Q means quit. It quits without saving. Correct. Quit without saving. Q is quit. Just like some of you guys are going to quit without remembering anything from this class because you've been quitting all of your life. Anyway, I'm going to remind you this. VI new file, and now I am thrown in this file, which has now, it now exists in the memory of my computer on my server. Come back to my slide over here. Ladies and gentlemen, basically, I have three modes of the VI. I have an escape mode, which is also called the normal mode. I can call this escape mode. Escape mode. There's an insert mode. There's a command line mode, command mode. Okay. When you open up the file, you are in the normal or escape mode by default. Let me show you over here. Right now, I'm in the normal or in the escape mode. All right, let's call it escape mode. I'm in the escape mode right now. What does that mean? If this file had contents, I could skim through those contents. I could read it. And then I can just close the file. I can exit out of without doing anything. So now let's exit out of this file real quick. Shift colon Q exclamation. Exit out of this file. Exit out quickly. Did I create a file? The question is, did I create a file? Absolutely no, because I was in the escape mode. I didn't do anything. I came out of that mode and I didn't save the file. I exit out of that file. Now, come back over here with me. Stay with me again. Let's take a look at the insert mode. So we talked about the normal mode or the escape mode. I said it allows you to navigate. It allows you to edit if you want to. And then you will press the escape and you can close out of this mode. Second is the insert mode. The insert mode allows you allows you to edit files. It allows you to go in and start writing to the file. How do you go into the insert mode? By pressing the I. When you press I or any of these letters, A, I, O, any of these letters can get you into the insert mode. Let's go over here and take a look at this one more time. All right, I go to the terminal once again and let me clear my screen. Okay, no files over here. I say vi test file. Ladies and gentlemen, I am in the escape mode right now. I hit escape. I am in the escape mode. I want to start typing into this file. I want to start writing into this file. You pay attention. If you press Q, it's not going to do anything. If you type W, it's not going to take you into the insert mode. You cannot write W. You press E, it's not going to allow you to write anything. You press R, it's not going to allow you to write anything. You press Z, it's not going to allow you to do anything until you press any of these letters. I, you are in the insert mode. Insert means to start writing. You can insert. I press I see the insert over here. Now I can type. This is my new file. I enter text into this file by pressing I. So I takes me to insert mode. Escape mode. Escape mode on the other side will always take me out of editing and allows me to either exit or save my file or do other operations which we will learn. So now I am on this line. I want to show you. I can hit next, enter, and I'm in the next line. Let's save this file. How do we go to escape mode? Again, what is escape mode? Escape mode means I want to save or exit out of this file without saving. I have to exit out of insert mode in order for me to save or quit without saving. Let's go to escape mode. Let's press escape key. Where is the escape key? Well, it's all the way on the upper left corner. Top left, sorry. On the top left corner. Did you find it? If yes, say beautifly. If no, say ugly fly. If none selected, then get the hell out of here. So let's see, GTH. New term, ladies and gentlemen, GTH. Get the hell out of here. If you, all right. Now, let's go ahead and hit. Pay attention over here, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. This is in insert mode. As soon as I hit the escape, it's gone. The insert mode will be gone. Oops. The insert mode is gone. I'm in the escape mode. Now I want to do my operations. What are the operations? I can save the file, the content of the file. I can exit out without saving the file. I can save this file with a different name. These are some of the operations that I can run over here. Hit escape again, and shift and colon together. And now say W, which means write. W, which means write. And this will save your file. If you want to continue working, then this will save the file. As soon, I don't see a distinction, or are you highlighting the options? I'm not highlighting any options over here. This is just the Vim doing its job over here. But where you're not seeing the options over here? Oh, you need to select those options.
No, I'm just answering. Saeem had said something. That's what I was not responding to. Sorry.
Oh, no, sorry about that. Okay, so now I hit escape. I want to save this content again. I press the shift and colon key together, and I press W. I save the file. Now, ladies and gentlemen, can I start writing to this file? Well, I'm going to press the enter key. No, it's not letting me. It's not letting me get in. I press the S because, no, S allowed me to. Okay. Now, I want to get into the insert mode again, ladies and gentlemen. I have to press the I to get into this file again. All right. Now, go back to the escape mode again. Escape mode again. Escape mode again. Now, press O. Press O. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes you to the next line. It puts you in the insert mode. It takes you to the next line. So I allows you to get into the insert mode. O allows you to get into the insert mode by taking you to the over line, next line. All right. Now I'm going to continue to write over here. Okay. Now it all makes little sense. I thought I was going to lose my life to VIM, but it's not that bad. All right, more to see before I quit completely. Now, let's go ahead and save and exit from this file. What do you think? What should we do? Escape and shift and hold the shift key, escape, hold the shift key and press this button right over here, colon. So let's do this. But wait, how do I save and exit? Well, W is for saving, Q is for exiting. So maybe WQ and the exclamation mark. Whoa. What's this goddamn thing? Well, it basically forces the Vim. No, let me just pick another word. Basically, it tells the Vim, keep your mouth shut and do as I am telling you to do. which is write to the write the file and quit. If there is any error, I don't want to see that unless it has to do something with permissions. So in any case, always use exclamation mark at the end. Now, folks, how do you like this way of teaching? Now let's go ahead. Go ahead and show me that you can escape, hold shift key and colon together, and then type WQ lowercase, and don't forget mouth shutting option. Oops, sorry, no. Option exclamation mark once. Okay, so WQ. So this will look like. All right, let's do this. Escape, shift colon, WQ, exclamation mark. There you go. Yes, get used to you always using the exclamation mark. Exclamation mark. Okay, good. Now that I created this file, can I read this file? All right. What are some of my options to read this file? I could do cat. I could do head. I could do tail. I could do head. I could do cat. I can do more. I can do less. I can do, these are good options. If I wanted to read the first beginning 10 lines, if I want to read the last 10 lines, then this. How about, can I VI this file again to read the file? Is it a good idea to read the file with the VI? No, not really. Because, ladies and gentlemen, why? Because VIM is editing tool. If you don't need to edit, don't use VI. If you need to make a change somewhere, you think you need to make a change, then use VIM. VIM or VI is the same thing. Let's go ahead. Come over here, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see over here. Now that, All right, let's add another line over here. I want to go to the next line and I want to get into the insert mode. How do I do this? When I open up the file, when I read the file, okay, very good. Oh, now I'm in insert mode. Oh means over. Move over, dude. Means next line over. Okay. Now, let's see. In the insert mode, I can go to any line I want. I want to change anything, I can change it over here. Very simple, very easy. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's save this. How do I save this? How do I save this? Don't forget the escape. Don't forget the escape. Escape. Shift colon. W for writing, because I do want to save it. Q for quitting, and the exclamation mark to force it, force it. Always use the exclamation mark. Now, if I just do QW, Q exclamation, will this get saved? No, this will not get saved. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, when I come over here, I am in the command line mode. I am in the command line mode right over here. Command line mode right over here. Why? What commands am I giving over here? Well, I'm giving the command to save and quit. I can give the command save only. I can give the command quit only. I can save it in a different directory over here. We will see that. Okay. So now, are you familiar with this? I swear to my God, if you were not playing with your phone, you would understand the escape mode, insert mode, and command mode now. Swear to my God. Okay. If you were not on your phone, if you were on your phone, wallahi, no matter what I do over here, I cannot do anything about you. Okay. TikTok is ruining your life and you're making somebody rich just by watching their videos. And that's how life is. Anyway, let's continue over here. Some people like to multitask. There's no such a thing multitask because you have a single core CPU in your head. You have a single core. It's not even hyper threaded, honestly speaking. You know what single core means? Single lane. It's like you going on a highway and there is a one single lane and there's a one toll guy which used to collect the toll back in days, not even an easy pass, toll guy. And every thought that you process, you can only process one thought at a time. Think about it. Can you process multiple thoughts? Not really. You can only focus on a one thought at a time. And that's why AI is a bigger threat for you guys. All of you guys that have been living your beautiful life, if you don't skill up, AI is going to replace you. I guarantee you. You want to know something interesting? I was sitting the other day and I said to myself, what am I doing with my life? Making life difficult for my students. Teaching them Linux and Vim and this process, and goddamn, why can't I come up with the formula that I'm going to teach them basic skills and I'm going to put a $120,000 salary in their pocket? Am I lagging right now?
No.
So ladies, there's always somebody sitting in the mountains with the slow speed of internet and they think I'm lagging. It's okay. It's life. No worries. Now, so I was thinking, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And I go ahead and I, spoke to a couple of my friends. They've been in the industry for a longer time. And I asked them, what are you doing nowadays? What's going on? And they're like, we're looking into AI operations. And these guys are also, teaching courses. And I said, okay. I said AI operations. Okay, let me see over here. AI operations engineer. Let's come back over here. And I go to Google and I say AI operations. You see this? Look, AI and ML operations engineer. I said, you know what? I'm going to do the same thing. I am going to learn AI operations and I'm going to teach my class some AI operations over here. So I went in and I looked at the jobs and looked at the job description before I can take some course over here. Ladies and gentlemen, to my surprise, lucky you guys, proven experience. Pay attention to the title over here. Machine learning operations, infrastructure, AI infrastructure engineer. Okay? Machine learning, which is AI infrastructure engineer. God damn, how lucky you guys are. Terraform, cloud formation, infrastructure as a code, familiarity with machine learning workflow, which we don't know, tools, Kubernetes, Kuberflow, in-depth understanding of computing systems. And some of these jobs, AI, not this one particular one, but AI, some of these jobs, I was surprised to see that all of these jobs, ladies and gentlemen, they are requiring you all the skills that I'm teaching you. And if I go over here on a ZipRecruiter, and if you do your research on this one over here, let's take a look at this job over here. Some of the skills that I'm teaching you over here, ladies and gentlemen, how many times I've talked about containerization, Docker? How many times I talked about CI/CD pipeline over here? How many talk about Kubernetes over here? All right. And some of these jobs are listing Linux as the backbone. Okay. All right, the class time is over. You don't have to ask me past 11 o'clock if you can go to sleep. Go get your sleep over here. I'm just showing you some of you guys that some of these jobs, ladies and gentlemen, they will ask you for the basic skills that we are teaching you over here. They will ask you Linux, they will ask you virtualization, they will ask you the DevOps tools, that I'm teaching you. Okay, this is amazing. And look at the salaries over here. So you're one step closer to this $215,000 from 150K. You can never understand AI, machine learning, if you don't understand the backend technologies, ladies and gentlemen. I ask you to ask ChatGPT what you're learning. Is it worth it? Is this a pathway to become the AI operations engineer? If you spend a year or two doing this, your next job should be AI ops engineer, which will get you $200,000 salary. And I promise you, whenever something new comes up, you just need a familiarity with things. You don't need to be top notch, and they will take you inside and they will give you the opportunity. Okay, take a look at this. CI/CD pipeline once again. Ansible, which is part of your course over here, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this AWS, which we're going to teach you right over here. We're going to teach you infrastructure as a code, which is Ansible, Terraform, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at Docker and Kubernetes. I promise I want to teach you Docker and Kubernetes so I can put more money. I can put more money in your pocket, but you have to promise me every single day you're going to work 2 hours daily and you're going to overcome your fears. You're ready, you're with the open mind, you are going to learn technologies, because if you don't learn these technologies, the AI will replace you. I promise you this. You can't even wash dishes anymore because robots are going to do that for you. If you've been that housewife and you think you have a job security by cleaning and taking care of the kids, I'm telling you, AI is going to take care of all of that for you. All right. So there's no more job security. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm telling you is you need to learn all of these things. Thank you very much. The time is 11:03. We're good to go for today. You are going to work on the VI. We're going to give you the basic exercise on VI, and just open to learn new concepts. And I will give you the slides for whatever I've taught you so far. And I'm going to take some questions over here from you guys.